Now, the National Bureau of Statistics says that the Nigerian unemployment rate rose to 27.1% in the second quarter of this year from 23.1% recorded in the third quarter of 2018. Now, the NBS, in its labor force unemployment and underemployment report, says that after a 20-month interval, the nation's underemployment rate increased from 20.1% in the third quarter of 2018 to 28.6% in the second quarter of this year. Well, joining me now to discuss the implication of these figures on the economic reality we are facing in the country, I have Dr. Mabinuri. Good to have you on the Breakfast Show today.
Thank you for having me. Now,
first and foremost, let's talk about the timeliness of the release of this report. This is over 18 months at the end of the day. And then looking at the fact that we see our GDP growth rate and our population growth rate, we still see an uneven balance here. So at this point in time, looking at the impact of the COVID-19, we've seen a whole lot of job loss, cuts here and there across different key sectors. What do you make of this report and what's the way forward?
It is long awaited. Let me say good morning once again for having me here. It is long awaited and it is not unexpected. This is pandemic period and of course there should be some job losses. A lot of people have closed down. What we're experiencing right now is what economists call the classical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment. Unemployment caused as a result of deficient demand. That is, when people refuse, the demand for a particular product goes down. Of course, the producer have no choice but to lay off staff. So that's kind of unemployment we're having right now. The COVID-19 has really had a big blow on so many firms or so many organizations, so many manufacturing firms, and they have no choice but to let go of staff. So this is expected. That is, and we'll be having this trajectory before now, since even before the pandemic came in. We've been having series of job losses. On a yearly basis, we have about 3 million Nigerians joining the labor force. That is, and then the exit, that is those that are retiring or those leaving the job, they are less than 1 million. So you can see the rate at which people are coming in is more than the rate at which they are leaving. So of course, the unemployment will surely swell up. So, and if you look at our population growth, the population statistics, which is called demography of our population, between the ages of 15 and 64, which is called the active population or the working age in Nigeria. We have over almost 117 million Nigerians in that category, 116 point something million in that category, and we have 80 million of them willing and ready and able to accept the prevailing wage rate, which is called the labor force. So of this labor force, that is where we now have the 27.1% not gainfully employed.
Okay.
And that accounts for 20.7 million.
For the lack of time. Now, looking at what is happening in the United States of America, you see millions and millions of people on a weekly basis filing for unemployment benefits. This is some sort of intervention to help manage the crisis at hand. Yes, the job cuts are coming, but at the end of the day, there's some need to support these individuals who have lost their jobs. What should we be doing at this point in time? Just in about a minute.
Same thing is needed in Nigeria here. We need to not just give unemployment benefit, we also need to support businesses to come back to life, and at the same time to take up maybe the employees that they have laid off, to call them back so as to improve the employment generation in Nigeria. I know recently government is trying to do a bit on that by recruiting 740,000 Nigerians in the one that was being done by Ministry of Employment. But that's just like a throw of stone into the ocean. So we still need a lot to be done. Government needs to come in terms of intervention, in terms of creating ease of doing business so that business can bounce back and then recruit more.
Thank you. Now, talking about the computation of this figure, first and foremost, we've seen a delay from 2018 up until now before we see the National Bureau of Statistics bring the figures out. But at this point in time, also looking at data management and data computation collection, some would also say that there is the tendency or the possibility that the figures that we have at this point in time is not necessarily a true reflection of the unemployment rate we have in the country. Yes, there's the sharp increase, but some fear that this is even much more. What could be fueling this forecast of a higher rate in unemployment?
Just as the saying goes, they'll say men can lie, women can lie, but data don't lie. Data expectedly should be one of the yardstick we use in projecting into the future or making policy documents. But data like unemployment has been very, very difficult to measure, not only in Nigeria, but all over the world. And we called that part of unemployment not captured is called hidden unemployment, or otherwise called agrarian unemployment. People that are actively involved in the rural area, into the agricultural sector, are they captured in this unemployment rate being given to us? The answer is almost the guess as good as yours, which is close to being no. So we call it hidden unemployment. Another unemployment figure not being captured by what we have seen here is also what we call the malemployment, which most of us or most people always are falling victim of. Going out in the morning, coming back with money in the evening doesn't make you employed. And if MBS is to measure, they will count you as being employed. For instance, someone that has read maybe botany at the university and crossed from botany to becoming a photographer, goes out in the morning, comes back with money and counts himself to be employed. He's not employed, he's mal-employed. So this data we have that been released, it doesn't capture people of such nature. And it is a problem all over the world. Unemployment figures are not accurately recorded, not only in Nigeria, not only specific to Nigeria, but specific to all over the world, I mean specific to all the countries in the world. That's why to the very large extent, we economists have what they call NAIRU, which is called non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment. There is a certain percentage of unemployment that is expected not to be accounted for. In advanced countries, only between 5 to 6%. If you have 5 to 6% of your labor force not being employed, it is accounted to be 100% employment, because you have some people that would decide not to work for so many reasons. They just want to join the employment struggle, maybe as a result of frustration or as a result of minimum, maybe embarrassing minimum wage. So many things can account for that. So they surely will not be captured. So the data we have right now, there is no way under heaven we can say is a true reflection of what we have in the in Nigeria, so to speak. This is a population of over 200 million, and we are saying 20.1, because 27.1% of unemployment rate when converted to population is 21.7. You know, it's 27.1. This one is 21.7 million. That is 21,700,000 Nigerians are unemployed, which is to a common man. We all know that that is not a true reflection of what we have in the economy. So it's general all over the world.
Now, talking about developing a robust plan to help sustain and then manage the situation that we have on ground, taking a cue from what we see in America, for example, now, and trying to replicate the fact that we need unemployment benefits for these people who, to a very large extent, cannot manage the situation on ground. What should be the step to address this issue? Yes, we have fantastic papers like the Economic Sustainability Plan. We've had interventions from the CBN and a whole lot more just to help cushion the current shocks we're facing. But now, with the focus on unemployment, rejigging the space and also utilizing our human resource, what should we be doing now? What should be the plan in terms of having benefits, talk less of now utilizing the human resource once the economy gets back on track?
As it is right now, it's not just spending that will take us out of this quagmire. It is purposeful spending. We need to understand the type of unemployment we have, then how to tackle it. Three types of unemployment are what we are facing right now. One is technological unemployment. Unemployment as a result of technology, as a result of innovation or technology displacing human beings. That is moving from labor intensive to capital intensive. So such unemployment, for instance, is some amount of money government will spend that will rectify that, unless it's been targeted towards that area. So if government is spending to correct that, for instance, it should, for instance, government should, to a very large extent, encourage our universities, especially University of Technologies, to bring up technologies that will possibly, those that have been rendered useless as a result of this
especially in emerging sectors.
To also get employed in that direction. So, and again, if it's a structural unemployment we're looking at, that is unemployment as a result of lack of skill, then government should also go into training and retraining workers so that they can meet up the necessary set skills to meet the current requirement. And this is a cyclical unemployment we want to address, that is unemployment as a result of dwindling demand for a particular product. So in that instance, government should possibly increase wage rates so that people will have their purchasing power will increase. They will have enough money to buy goods and services that these companies are producing. Then when the goods are being consumed, then they will have capacity to employ more people.
Okay.
So it's not just spending blindly. It is purposeful spending.
Purposeful spending.
To target a particular unemployment that we have, so that we can combat what we call the jobless growth in the economy.
Thank you very much for your time on the show today, Dr. Mabinuri.
You are most welcome.